The meltdown over free groceries. Where's my groceries? I'm going to steal. Oh, yeah, this is just unbelievable. You won't believe this. Hey, Big Balls attackers are not getting away as easy as they thought they would. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you, Judge Judy. And the aliens are coming. Or are they? Welcome to the J. Sheldon Show. We are live on Rumble. I don't know if we're live on X or not. If not, I give up. I'm not going to harp on it. I was so pissed off yesterday. Seriously, beyond belief. I tried everything I could to deal with this software, and it just would not cooperate. So we'll see. I'm just doing a very quick check. But yes, okay, we are live on X and we're live on Rumble. It's working. We used to have a studio audience here, so I'll have to replace them. Golf clap. It's working. Oh, man, the Shevitz. Welcome in, everybody. Great to have you along for the ride. If you have not yet, please hit that follow button. Give us a thumbs up. All those things play into all this computer algorithm background stuff that neither you nor I understand. But apparently it pushes us out to people who don't normally watch the show. And then maybe they look at it, they see the thumbnail, and they go, oh, that looks interesting. Let's check that out. And then maybe they hit the follow button. And then we grow, and we grow our audience, and our advertisers get more viewers, and we all make a little money and have a little fun. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Ah, man, Shevitz, I'm telling you. We got through it. We're here. It's Tuesday. Monday's over there somewhere. Never mind Monday. It's done. It's gone. It's over. Put it in the trash. Be gone. I feel a lot better now that I actually see things are kind of working. It's a little slow, but that's all right. You just bear with it. We're doing the best we can. All right. The meltdowns are skyrocketing. It is unbelievable because, of course, mainly of the fact that we have a government shutdown going on. Thank you, Democrats. There's a lot of programs which are not happening. Some people are still getting paid. Some people are still working without pay. The true patriots, I'm telling you, I kind of know what that feels like, but yeah, man, I'm telling you. My timeline on X is full to up to here with these idiots who are saying the same thing in different styles. I'm going to show you some. What? I don't get any benefits for November and maybe December? Well, then I'm just going to go into the grocery store and I'm going to steal the food. Well, first of all, that's against the law. Just in case you didn't know that. Second of all, here's an idea. Why don't you just go get a freaking job, of which there are plenty? I don't want to hear any, I can't find it. There's no employment. Nobody would take. No. If your face is all tattooed and you've got 50,000 nose rings and earrings and lip rings and tongue piercings, yeah, nobody's going to give you a job, okay? Unless they're a piercing parlor. So right off the bat, you're 10 paces back or more, 100 paces back. But if you are a relatively normal human being who doesn't have a give me everything for free attitude, then trust me, you can find a job and you can actually do something. I know it's a little weird, but now bear with me. I'm going to explain this to you because apparently you're just too freaking stupid to understand. You get a job, you get up off your lazy ass. I'm kind of doing a Bongino here, remember? Get up off the chair, get your ass off the chair, go out, get a job. It doesn't matter what job, any job, they all pay money. And money right now is what you need, right? Okay, so you work the job, you do a good job, they give you money, actual spending money. And then, I know, shocker to some, you can actually go out and buy groceries and feed your family. Who'd have thought? But no, I'm not kidding. I've been doing it for over 45 years now. Yeah, I had my first job when I was like 15, 16 years old. Eutzler's Country. Actually, before that, make it 50 years, because I had a paper route where I was making like $7 a month. I had a paper route, the Waterbury Republican, all around the Cornwall, West Cornwall area. I'd get up on my bike, 5 o'clock in the morning, haul my fat little ass all around town, dumping papers on people's doorsteps. Then Eutzler's Country Store in West Cornwall, little 3-aisle country grocery store, stocking shelves, cashing out people, carrying their bags to the car. Imagine that. But yeah, that's what I was doing when I was a kid. Well, of course, there was no online when I was a kid because I'm 1,000 years old. But beyond that, I had a job. They paid me money. And then I bought too many milkshakes and I got fat. Fat. Right now, because of my illnesses and things, I've lost a ton of weight. I weigh like 58 kilos, and I don't know what that is in pounds, but it's not much. There was a point, and I got a picture to prove it. Someday I'll put it up here online. I weighed 250 pounds. I was a freaking tub because I ate too many milkshakes. Anyway, the meltdowns are going crazy. These idiots are all over X, all over social media, TikTok. These videos are a group of people, and these are just 4 of them. I got probably over 200 I saw just today of people promising that they're going to loot stores. They're going to steal from the stores. Absolutely incredible, these people. And it won't stop. Take a look. Let me see, make sure I got the volume kicked up here. And how are we doing on the volume? We okay? Yeah, we're okay. Watch this. There's just 4 as examples of what I'm talking about.
Y'all, what are we doing about Snap? I use Snap every month. And y'all always complaining about the mutual aid videos, blah, blah. There's going to be more. I know I'll be raising money for food. Luckily, we kind of saw this coming, so we have stockpiled some non-perishables, like with our food stamps, like rice and a couple canned things, some applesauce to replace eggs if we want to bake something. We got extra flour, we got extra sugar, we got some extra stuff, but...
Hold on. Some applesauce to replace eggs if we want to bake something? I think I might have found the source of your problem, lady.
Maybe it would last us a month, maybe 2. If we have to start paying for food, like all of our food, yeah, I may make more videos. So if you guys want to cut down on the people who need help, what are we doing about Snap? What are we doing? Somebody let me know. I don't know. I don't know who to call for that. Then we have to get the government like unshut down or something. But I feel like the government shut down before and Snap didn't stop.
And if you gotta take those groceries, go ahead and take them. If you gotta walk smooth out the door, just take them. I don't care. I support you. I support that message, and I'm gonna mind my business. That's what I'm gonna do. If I see somebody walking out with a cart full of groceries that I know is unpaid, like, I'm minding my business, because so what? So what? They're taking away food from y'all. And I see a lot of people making videos and in the comments saying, well, that's not the solution. What is the solution then? Because it's either take that or let your kids starve.
Or get a freaking job, you fat moron.
Like, I don't see what's going on right now is just pure evil. They do not care if y'all eat. So why should we care about the money that's going into those corporations? That's all I'm saying. Like, we want to do something just has to be done. Like, I don't know what the solution is, but I will say, if you got to take that food, go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. Like, the more people that do it, they'll get the picture, because no mother should have to pay $60 for one can a baby formula. That's ridiculous. Like, it wasn't even that much when my tube was coming up, and it was expensive then. Now it's ridiculous. And I suggest that y'all do the same as far as minding your business. Like, if you see somebody walking out, just turn and look the other way. Like, ain't no time. There's not time to be trying to play Captain Save America, trying to do the right thing, trying to stand up. Like, no. Let them people walk out. And then you might want to do the same thing too. That's all I'm saying. So mind your business.
And how much exactly did you pay for those braids in your hair? How much did that cost while you claim your kids are going to go hungry?
Everybody going around saying that motherfuckers ain't getting food stamp next month. Mind you, bitch, I'm on food stamp. Let me tell you this right now. Donald J. Trump, I don't know what the fuck you got going on in that fucking house of yours, but bitch, you better fix it. Just because your ass going through some shit don't mean you gotta take it out on everybody else, bitch. Fix this shit right now. Let me not get my food stamps. Let me not get my food stamps. I'm going back to stealing. I don't care. If you leave your car unlocked in the middle of the night, lock it, bitch. Because if I don't get no food stamps, best believe me and mine's gonna eat regardless.
Unbelievable.
Guys, I'm just finding out there's no EBT next month. My heart. There's no EBT next month. What is this pumpkin man doing, bro? Why the fuck we gotta starve on Thanksgiving? Are you dead ass, pumpkin man? It's like, yo, it's just like you gotta like... Why the fuck there's no EBT next month? Why the fuck November though? It couldn't be January, Feb, March? Why the fuck does it have to be November? Why November? Yo. How the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries?
Get a job, you moron.
How the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries if you gotta suffer? On Thanksgiving too. We were supposed to eat better today. Now we gotta starve today.
Now we gotta starve today. I swear. And like I said, that's just 4 examples. There were hundreds of these things all over the internet. The Schumer shutdown. Oh boy. Unfreaking believable, but it just keeps going on. It just keeps going on. And in some cases, it just isn't working out all that well for some people in what I call the ultimate FAFO, which is around and find out. This is a classic. I mean, a classic. First of all, I want you to notice what she said in the beginning. She pays $50 in rent. $50 in rent, this fat moron. Listen to this, but wait, there's more.
So I live in a 10-story apartment building, and I only pay $50 in rent. Does that make you angry? Does that make you shiver in your boots? Does that make you want to punch me in my face? I pay $50 for a 2-bedroom for my family of 6. With the help of your tax dollars. Thank you very much. Love you guys.
Okay, here's the follow-up video.
So because of that video I made of my family of 7 living in a 2-bedroom apartment and me only paying $50, somebody on here was so miserable to go report me that now they gave me an eviction notice for 30 days. Yes. So now I need a lawyer. Thanks to y'all taxpayers that are so mad that you're paying my $50 in rent for my 2-bedroom apartment for a family of 7. I don't know how y'all even found out where I live.
Good luck paying for a lawyer, by the way.
It's a 10-story apartment building. Y'all found out where I live. Y'all contacted the housing people. I don't know what you said to them, but now me and my family's getting evicted and we're gonna be on the streets. So thanks a lot.
Okay, so let me feel bad for you for just 1 second. Okay, I'm over it. That is, like I said, the ultimate. Look around and find out. She's also proud of herself in that first video. I pay $50 for rent. I don't even pay that because you pay it for the taxpayer. And then guess what? I'm getting evicted. Bye-bye. Yes, yes, yes. There is a God. Unbelievable. All right. A follow-up. A big follow-up. You know the Roblox story? We covered that a month or more ago. But it was a while ago. Well, guess what? Things are getting real heated. I love this story. They are an Attorney General James Olthmeyer, and I do not know where he's from. Obviously not. AG James Olthmeyer has launched a criminal subpoena to Roblox, which apparently, from my reporting that we did here a month or more ago on this show, now, it wasn't the first one, obviously, but we talked all about it. It is a breeding ground for predators gaining access to our children of all ages. Roblox, great site, but they have absolutely no parameters at all as far as trying to control the sicko predators that show up on that site and cause unbelievable damage. I got a follow-up to this one too, but here is the Attorney General talking about exactly what we were just saying.
This is Attorney General James Olthmeyer. Today, our office will be issuing criminal subpoenas to the online children's gaming company, Roblox. Roblox profited off of our kids while exposing them to the most dangerous of harms. They enabled our kids to be abused. Companies like Roblox have become breeding grounds for predators to get to and have access to our kids. These criminal subpoenas will enable us to gather more information for our prosecutors about the criminal activity taking place on Roblox platform, as well as evidence on the predators that are out there and the victims that are abused.
Wow.
At the end of the day, we will stop at nothing to fight to protect our kids, and companies that act carelessly and expose them to harm will be held accountable.
Yes. That's the kind of action we love to see. Abso-freaking-lutely. Thank God somebody is doing something. Now, I just noticed in the X post that I was following, there is a reply from a user named Real Schlep, and it says, in Polk County, Florida, I got a Roblox developer arrested, and he was just recently convicted of 3 counts of CSAM, which is, you don't say it because on YouTube or with some channels, if you talk about it, they'll demonetize your show, whatever crap bullshit laws there or rules, not laws, rules they've made up for themselves. Anyway, CSAM is child sexual assault material. 3 counts this guy got busted for. Full year exposing predators on the platform, warning the company about what was happening. Wow, this goes on and on. Their response from Roblox, after ignoring me for over a year, was to issue me a cease and desist threatening litigation if I ever touch their platform again. Now, that alone tells you that they are more focused on silencing people complaining than stopping the people who are committing these illegal acts against our kids. The poster says, as someone victimized on Roblox, thanks for taking this seriously. Thousands of children had suffered life-altering abuse because they were told this platform was safe when it wasn't. There's the mugshot of this criminal. And there is Felsands. There's his character. Insane. But like I said, that AG, not putting up with it anymore. Going after subpoenas. Good on you. Thank you. Bless your heart. Keep it up. Don't give up that fight. Marilyn, hello. Welcome. Praise the Lord. Hey, I'm late because the same thing happened to you yesterday, happened to Julie Green today. So that just finished, Hugs. Yeah, you know what? In amongst all the other crap that I found out was going on, I understand that AWS, now I don't believe Rumble works on AWS because they have their own cloud service. But AWS had a major outlet. My Alexa machines were all down most of the evening and night, or morning and afternoon in your time zone. It was a mess, an absolute mess. Anyway, she says I'll go back to the beginning when this is done. Thanks for that. All right, Roblox, criminal charges maybe. That would be nice. Speaking of wouldn't it be nice if we had some criminal charges, well, guess what? You know, we followed the story about those guys who attacked Big Balls, the guy from Doge, almost killed him as he was trying to save a woman from a carjacking. Well, the court, of course, because the courts are in D.C., are just liberal bastions of letting all the criminals go free, and the hell with the victims. So they let these guys pretty much walk on probation after they beat the living hell out of this guy who was only trying to be a good Samaritan and help out a woman in need. Well, guess what? First of all, they've been named. They are Anthony Taylor, who is 18, and Lawrence Powell, who is 19. And they are charged with assault federally. This is a classic. And after this activist judge in D.C. refused to jail the attackers, U.S. Attorney Judy Pirro, said she is going to bring federal charges against them. You go, lady.
Them. Today, we are announcing that Lawrence Cotton Powell, who is 19 years of age, along with Anthony Taylor, who is 18 years of age, are now charged with assaulting Levine. Cotton Powell was stomping on Levine's head, as you can see in this poster to my left. Levine was able to get up momentarily, but the crowd chased him and got him down again. They continued to attack Levine while he was on the ground, and then proceeded to rob him of his sneakers and his watch. The group then, after the robbery and assault of Ethan Levine, they walked in the direction of where another crime occurred within minutes. You have heard of this crime. Edward Korestein, a 19-year-old Doge person who was working in the administration, was walking a young woman to her car when he was approached in the 1400 block of Swan Street Northwest. Approximately 10 suspects approached him, and as they did, he pushed the young woman into the car. And he was protecting her from the group before he was then attacked by multiple suspects, who then punched him repeatedly, causing significant injuries to him. They got him on the ground, and as they were doing so, they demanded the car from the woman who was inside the car and had already locked the car. They were banging on the car. They were pulling the car door, trying to get the car open, and were telling the woman in the car to hand over the keys. And the woman was, as I said, able to lock the car door, so they were unable to gain entry. And it was fortuitous that someone from the Metropolitan Police Department was on patrol. He happened to pull onto the block, and he witnessed the suspects actually assaulting Korestein, who was on the ground lying next to the car.
Unbelievable. So now these little knuckleheads are not getting away with nearly murder. Now they are charged federally, and they will go to jail, hopefully for a very long time. Oh, man, Shevitz, I love this. How about the Rhode Island school district that's getting sued by the Department of Justice? Are you tired of winning yet? Little Rhode Island, don't you know how tiny you are? I know because I grew up and lived in Connecticut for most of my life. Well, half of it. Now, I'm so old. I'm just thinking back, I'm going, not anymore, not most of it. It was only half of it. Anyway, the DOJ is suing the little tiny matters not state of Rhode Island. I know, I got a couple friends from Rhode Island, forgive me, but you're a tiny state. A school district there over plainly racist discrimination against white teachers. Here we freaking go again. Several Minneapolis public high schools barring white and Asian students from enrolling in certain courses on black culture. The classes, which count towards the district's elective graduation requirement, leave white and Asian students with fewer options to fulfill those credits, and that's a problem. One restricted course that white people and Asians cannot take, which is just complete black and white, no pun intended, racism. It's called Black Culture, Building Lives Around Cultural Knowledge. It's open exclusively, now get this, not just black students, but exclusively to black male students. So if you're a black female, you also can't take this course. What the hell are they thinking? How is this not a violation of civil rights laws? It's a clear violation of that. Well, to quote Ronald Reagan, the Department of Justice has now filed a lawsuit against the Rhode Island Department of Education, which, strangely enough, is called RIDE, Rhode Island Department of Education, and the Providence Public School District, PPSD, which is not as funny, allegedly for violating federal law by launching a loan forgiveness program that welcomes every ethnicity except if you're a white teacher. Yeah. Can you see what might be a problem here? Yep. Title of the program even says it right there. Educators of Color Loan Forgiveness Program. They're not exactly trying to conceal what they're doing. They openly offer up to $25,000 in student loans repayment programs for new hires, unless you're white. Imagine for a nanosecond the degree of histrionic meltdown if the script were flipped. We're going to give you $25,000 in student loan repayments, but only if you're white. Oh, the humanity. And it should be, just as this ridiculous program should be. Are you freaking kidding me? By the way, this whole thing in both cases reminds the silly notion of reverse racism, which doesn't exist, by the way. Racism is racism. Doesn't matter the skin color or who the target is. Racism is racism. And that's racism. This program was launched in 2021, 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. The program restricts eligibility to full-time teachers with at least $5,000 in student debts, and applicants also must identify as Asian, Black, Indigenous, Latino, biracial, or multiracial, according to the official webpage for the program. These programs, by the way, these racist, illegal, unconstitutional programs have been allowed to go on for decades. Allegedly pay back to people of color. There's a new sheriff in town in the White House. In a Justice Department that means business. And these kind of programs are going to get trashed on the ash heap of history. You understand? You hear me? Along with this whole DEI diversity bullcrap, which thankfully is nearly finished. This has got to stop, my friend. This has got to stop. Sane. All right. Before we tell you about the aliens that are going to be invading, and the fact that you may only have until the 29th of this month to do anything, because we'll all be dead or captured by then, we're going to tell you about one of our new partners on this show, and that is Ground News.
The news is divided. Ground News puts it back together, so you can see how many sources are reporting on any breaking story, where they fall on the political spectrum, how reliable they are, and who owns them. Compare headlines and read full articles to see which details are prioritized, exaggerated, or left out entirely. Because the more we understand the media, the more we'll understand each other. Visit ground.news to learn more.
Mike back, please. Ground News. This really, honestly, I use this site all the time. I am in the news business, sort of. At least I bring you headlines I think you're interested in. We talk about them. We give you my opinion about it. You give me yours in the chat. But Ground News lets you know what you're looking at. You know, today, the legacy media, all the other bull crap out there, these media outlets that are owned by left and right, and they are controlling what you're reading and how you are affected by it. Ground News will show you the differences. They also have a great section which is kind of like the news that should be being covered, but is pretty much being ignored by everybody. Ground News covers that. There is a link down there in our show notes, whether you're on X watching us or on Rumble, and if you go to that link and get signed up for the Vantage program, you get 40% off, and we'll get a little bit of credit for your visit, so we appreciate that. But seriously, the way the world is these days, and you're dying for information, and between AI and left and right-leaning outlets that don't give you the whole story, Ground News, I've found, is absolutely the best way to know that what you are getting for information is accurate. And if you're going to read the stuff that leans left or right, at least you know that up front. Ground News, please do check it out. It's a brilliant news dispersion site that gives you all of the headlines and even the stories that should be covered and are not. Ground News, that link is in our show notes. Use that and get over there to Ground News and check it out. It's fantastic. Love that site. And like I said, I use it all the time for show prep. It's fantastic. All right. Jeremy Corbell, whom I love. He is a UFO investigator, UAP, whatever they're calling it these days to try and brainwash and gaslight us. But he said months ago, I played, I don't know if it was here or on our after-hours show on Locals, but I played his whole little spiel that he gave, saying that down the road in the near future, we would all be warned about this alien invasion ship that was coming and how we were going to be. And sure enough, as you probably know if you follow the news at all, 3i Atlas is on its way for a visit, apparently. And now they're saying, is it planning or performing what's called an Oberth maneuver? I know it's wonky, but bear with me. I will make this simple for you. This Dr. Avi Loeb has been all over the internet. You cannot turn and open a web page that you don't see some interview with this guy. And he suggests that you take a vacation before the 29th of October, inferring that we might not be around much longer. And he says now, as of the 21st, what is today? Isn't today the 21st? Yeah, as of today, it may be more than a coincidence. It will move directly behind the sun according to its current path. So it will disappear and the Earth's telescopes can't see it. And that's just 8 days before it reaches its closest approach to the Earth. Loeb is suggesting this could be the perfect setup for what's called an Oberth maneuver. This is an acceleration technique which is used by a spacecraft that uses the gravity pull of a planet or a sun to pull itself around and get going even faster. Acceleration, powerful acceleration by going around a planet, using the planet's gravity. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, if you were to get grazed by a car as it went by you, boom, it would throw you off. That's sort of it's a very cheap 10-cent store version of an Oberth maneuver. Anyway, October 29th, 3i Atlas will be exposed to more than 33 gigawatts of solar energy, nearly a third of all the output of all U.S. nuclear power plants. That's a lot. If it is an artificial or some mothership, according to Loeb, that energy could be harnessed into power to power advanced systems, and all while it would be completely hidden from our view. We wouldn't be able to see what it's doing because it's behind the sun. It's us, the sun, and this 3i Atlas, whatever it is. Now, if the object behaves purely according to gravity, because it's just a big hunk of rock out there, it'll just confirm that it's some natural origin. But any unexplained acceleration or change in its trajectory, where it's going, he said it would signal something far more profound. I'm sorry, but I'm sticking with Jeremy Corbell. Either this is something, again, let me put my tinfoil hat on nice and tight. Either this is something pre-planned. Remember the thing from one of those ex-astronauts before he died, who said they'll be projecting images up in the sky, holograms and things, and fool everybody. I don't know. That's really out there tinfoil hat stuff. But I don't know. For some reason, in my heart of hearts, my gut feeling says it's all bullshit. And I agree with what Jeremy Corbell had to say. It's a psyop. It's another means of control. Do I know this for sure? Abso-freaking-lutely not. We'll see. It's going to be that long. It's the 21st, 29th. It's not that far away. So we'll see. Do you spank your kids? There's a headline in an article that caught my eye that says, "Why you are a bad parent if you don't spank your kids." Critics of spanking make arguments based on a totally wrong foundation. They judge punishment by the results, rather than spanking's role in what we commonly know as justice to us big people, the ones who wear the big people pants. Spanking has all been banished from modern parentry. So people are so afraid they're going to get charged with child abuse. The idea of spanking your child when they do something that reaches the level of a spanking, which was once considered perfectly normal. You know how many spankings I got from my dad mostly when I was a kid? A lot. Because I was a little hellion. I think I told this story before, but I'm going to tell it to you again because it's fun. I had a bow and arrow. It was a fiberglass bow. I was so good. I practiced. I was one of the best archers in the county, I think. I loved this bow. I could hit an apple at 50 yards almost with my eyes shut. I was so good. And where we lived in West Cornwall, our house was on a hill going out of town. And so there was a flat part where the house was built up, big 13-room mansion kind of house. We weren't rich, trust me, but it was a beautiful house. And then right behind was a ledge that went up and a walkway along it that would go up into the woods behind our house. We had deep forest behind our house. So I'm down on the ground shooting arrows at the target way down the end of the lawn. And my sister Kathy is up on top of the ledge, standing in front of a tree, and she will not stop. She's, "You can't hit me, you can't hit me." And you know how annoying, especially a sister can be, when they're just going to sit there and taunt you. I'm going to guess I was about 12, 13 maybe less, but I would say right around there. So I admit this was a stupid thing to do, but after 10 minutes of this idiot sister sitting up there continuously, "You can't hit me, nanny, nanny, boo, boo," I said, that's it. So when I pulled back for another arrow to let loose another arrow to the target, I turned around to where she was and I let fly. And it hit exactly what I was aiming for, which obviously wasn't her. It hit about 5 feet above her head up in the tree. Right in the middle of the trunk of this tree. She, never thinking that I would actually shoot an arrow. These were real arrows, it would have killed her if it hit her. She goes, "You can't," and she looks up like this, and she sees the arrow. And it's like, the first thing she does, "Mom!" Running down the hill, runs in the house, tells my mom what just happened. My mom comes out, takes the bow and arrow away from me, and says the words no kid wants to hear: "Wait till your father comes home." So I did. He gathers the family around, and it's time for Jay's spanking, because I deserved a spanking. I may not have time for the rest of this article, but I don't care. It's a fun story. So he tries first, before he spanks me, to break the bow. If you didn't recall my saying so, it's a fiberglass bow. They don't break. That's the point. So here he is, trying to bend this bow to get it to break. And every time he tries, he's getting more pissed off. He's, already angry enough at me for what I did, stupid as it was, fully admit, stupid. And now he's trying to break the bow, and it won't break. Well, he got so pissed off, eventually, he absolutely crushed the thing, and it finally snapped. And as you know, with fiberglass, splinters went everywhere. And then he gave me the absolute beating, spanking on my ass of a lifetime with the broken half of that bow. I remember every single detail of that moment, and that was 50 over years ago. I deserved that spanking. I absolutely did. Today, that would have gotten him prison time. We're told spanking teaches violence. It damages trust. Or that it just doesn't work. Trust me, folks, it works. Study after study, it seems, comes stamped with the very same message every single time. Spanking is not only ineffective, but now they say it's immoral. Now, 100,000% agree that people can take spanking too far. Absolutely, I've seen it happen. But you know what I'm talking about, a normal, everyday spanking. The evidence that spanking is harmful is a lot weaker than most people think. 2024 meta-analysis published in the Marriage and Family Review analyzed research on spanking and found that often reported harmful-looking outcomes of customary physical punishment, which is a fancy way of saying spanking, likely due to residual confounding. What? A lot of studies claiming supposed harm fails to distinguish between calm, measured spanking intended to teach a lesson and what is basically just abusive hitting, which, like I said, that does happen. It is shameful. It should not happen. Spanking should be metered out in a reasonable way to children. Structure, restraint. And like I said, 50 years later, here I sit. I can close my eyes and remember that day like it was an hour ago. It has never left me. Never, ever left me. A little Trump derangement syndrome? Yep, we got some for you. This is insane, folks. Look at this story. An anti-Trumper has been arrested, and guess for what? For shooting at a man who was holding a Trump sign. Oh, but the left aren't violent. Here's another story. Another story about leftist violence. This guy named Mark Thomas had a Trump sign in his front yard. Benjamin Michael Campbell apparently doesn't believe in private property because he stopped, got out, and proceeded to tear down Thomas's sign. But that wasn't enough for this knucklehead moron. He then proceeded to fire multiple shots at the house while Thomas was on his front porch. Yeah. Fortunately, he missed him, barely, and this wacky TDS to the max anti-Trumper was identified and arrested. Thank God. And I hope the charge is attempted murder, because it should be. He lives in Nathan Gorge, North Carolina. Recently, about the September incident, he was speaking to the Daily Mail. He recalled a Jeep barreling down the residential street about 50 miles an hour. Then the driver, wearing some Antifa-style mask, skids to a stop, gets out to look at the Trump sign. He was driving along, he says, saw the sign, slammed on the brakes, had a political trigger moment, and he just felt like he had to tear the sign down. So he starts reaching up on his tippy toes, trying to get to the edge of the sign. And he just thought to himself, I don't believe this. This can't be happening. This is the guy who owns the house, who lives there. He's out on his porch. He says, I'm a Trump supporter, got weapons for my protection, my enjoyment, and I keep them handy. What good are they if you can't get to them when you need them? So I reached over and I grabbed my rifle. The very thought that Thomas would maybe scare away this insane nutbag trespasser. So standing on his porch where Campbell could see him very clearly, Thomas fired 2 warning shots in the air. Dumb idea, Thomas, but I understand. He didn't count on exactly how crazy the trespasser was. At this point, he'd ripped off the Trump sign and ripped it up, threw it on the ground, like he was proud of what he did. And then Campbell returned to his car, the guy who ripped up the sign. But did he leave? Oh, no. He popped open his sunroof, brought out his own weapons, and fired 5 or 6 rounds as he was headed down the driveway, passing in front of Thomas's place. He said he found a bullet hole in his refrigerator, which is on his porch where he was. So there's your good old nonviolent left for you. Ain't that nice? All right, one more, then we got to get out of here. I have an alarm clock. It has a snooze button, and I use it a lot. It's a 15-minute snooze. You can set it, but I have it set for 15 minutes. And there are days, I think it has a limit. It's like you can do it 5 times, and then it will not snooze anymore. So I'm thinking because there are days when I miss it. I'll sleep right through it. I'll shut it off 5 times, and I'll still keep sleeping. So I really think I need a new alarm clock. And I think I might have found one. And it looks like this. This is an alarm clock that you don't even need to set it. It will hunt you down. Now, that's the kind of alarm clock I need. You hear his little feet, tick, 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 looking all over for the guy. Then he finds him, alarm clock goes off. And you get eggs. Okay, no, that's a rooster, so you don't get eggs, but you know what I mean. Maybe a dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, man, what a great video. I love that. All right, my friends, we are done. Thank you, folks. If you're not following the show, please do that. Whether it's on Rumble, very important over there, hit that follow button. Also on X, be sure you follow and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget our locals, where we do behind-the-scenes stuff called a show called The After Hours, 2-3 times a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. We upload our behind-the-scenes stuff where we talk a little more openly. We loosen our tie and just get into some of the stuff that we don't talk about on the regular show. It's a great behind-the-scenes kind of look at a much more loose Jay Sheldon, which would be this guy. Thank you again, and we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time here on the Jay Sheldon Show. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody. See you tomorrow.